So in every programming language, you will come across files. Are you good in that files of that language? Are you good in the files of that language? Tell me openly, tell me. Openly. I want openly. Right. No, sir. No, sir. So, okay, somewhat, sir. Okay. So, no, sir. No, sir. So, very good. Little bit, sir. Little bit. That means total bit, little bit. Little bit is we are perfect. So, let us move forward to the files. So, coming to the index of files. So, would you like to become perfection in the files of Python? Would you like to become perfect in the files of Python? Yes, sir. So definitely we are going to get most perfect in the concept of files. So 100% you are going to become extraordinary in the concept of files. No doubt in that. Let me start with the files of Python language. Right, ma. So what we are going to enter. First I am going to write the index. That is our style of a subject. First we are going to enter into the subject. So what is the purpose of files? Always first statement is always need to understand purpose of files. So purpose of files. Purpose of files we need to enter. Purpose of files we need to enter. First one is that only. Next after that we need to understand definition of file. Definition of file. We need to understand definition of file. We are going to see that. Next we are going to understand definition of record. Definition of record. It's so much of powerful concept. I will make you as a king in this area. King in this area. Even you can do the project in these files also. Okay, right. We will see the importance of it. Next we are going to understand. We are going to understand types of applications in files. Types of applications. Types of applications. Applications in files. That is, in that we are going to learn it. We are going to learn it. Non-persistent applications. Non-persistent applications. Non-persistent applications. We are going to understand. Second is called what? Persistent applications. Persistent applications we are going to understand. We are going to learn all these things. Next, we are going to enter next term. Next term. Types of operations. Types of operations on files. Types of operations on files. Types of operations on files. There we are going to enter into write operation. Write operation. We are going to explain. And next read operation. Read operation. Read operation. We are going to enter. Next we are going to enter into types of files. Types of files in Python language. Types of files in Python language. There we are talking about text files. Text files. Next we are talking about binary files. Binary files we are going to talk about it. Next we are going to talk about it. Next we are going to talk about it. File opening modes. File opening modes. Wonderful topic. File opening modes. File opening modes. There we are talking about R mode, W mode, and next is called A mode, and next D is called R plus mode, and C D E. E is called what? W plus mode, and next F is called A plus mode, and FG is called X mode. Wonderful. Wonderful. There are totally 7 modes are there to open the file. You take any person and ask, the people will teach only first 3. And they don't know the difference between this A. They will teach first 2 only. And we teach this perfectly in all the cases. So much of wonderful points. Next we are talking about advanced concepts in files. 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 That is called pickling and unpickling. Pickling is one, and unpickling is another one. Unpickling is another one. Next, we are going to talk about before that, random file accessing, random file accessing, random file accessing, random file accessing. There we are going to talk about. There we are going to talk about seek function and then tell function, tell function, tell function. Then functions used for reading, functions used for reading, functions used for writing, functions used for reading, functions used for writing. So these many number of things. So I will write here, I will write here file operations. Before this, I will write functions used for, I am writing here, functions used for writing the data, writing, see, writing the data, writing the data to the file, to the file. There we are talking about A. There we are talking about A. Write function and B function I am using. Write lines function we are using. Write lines function. Functions used for reading the data from the file. Functions used for reading the data from the file. Functions used for reading the data. Used for reading the data from file. From file. Writing the data to the file, to the file, reading the data from the file. There we are using read function, read function. B is called what? Read of number of characters, number of chars. Next we are going to talk about C, read line function. Next is called a D function is called what? Read lines function. We are going to talk these many number of things. See how many things we are going to discuss. You see that nobody can discuss these many number of topics. This is an index of the file. Yeah, we are going to get all these things. Types of files, RB, binary file, Srila, somebody is a Srila, right? So you will become extraordinary student in the concept of files. So is the index is clear? We don't know anything, but I gave the clarity for you. So by looking at that, I am getting so much of confidence. My sir made me to understand. My sir made me to understand a guru of files. So I made you as a guru. Every topic when I discussed it, I made a guru of a particular topic. Whatever I discussed it. So shall we enter into the files? Shall we enter into the files? Ready? Are you ready? Yes. So please permit me. Please give a green flag. So I will go. I will go. So I will go for that. Yes. So let me start my introduction to files. Introduction to files I am going to start. Introduction to files I am going to start. Yes. So let us start with introduction to files. Look at, carefully listen, ma. Carefully try to listen. And don't go for not even single sentence, don't miss for me. Introduction to files of Python. Files of Python. Sir, what exactly importance of files? So we are going to discuss with this concept of files. 4 days we are going to discuss. I will take 1 day extra. Always we will keep 1 day extra. 5 days we will discuss. Maximum 4 days is enough. Maximum 4 days is enough. We are going to discuss all these things. 4 days we are going to talk about it. So let us start with it. If you understand little bit faster, we can complete it. So everything I started here. Let us enter into the files. Dear students, whatever the examples we discussed already in our previous sessions, whatever the examples we have done in our previous programs, all those programs are comes under one type of category of applications that are called non-persistent applications. Let me take one small diagram here. Let me give you one small diagram what we discussed so far. What we discussed so far, let me give you some small diagram. This is my computer, guys. This is my computer. So let us carefully try to watch it. This is called my computer. So let us take it as this is called my main memory of the computer. Just for to give you the feeling of it, I'm just writing it. So I am writing because you will get in this class only, you will get perfection in the concept of files itself. You will get perfection in the concept of files itself. Yes. So here we are making you, this is called my computer. And then it is called my keyboard. So far what we done, I am just trying to tell you that. Just so far what we did, I am just showing you. So far whatever we discussed, we are just showing you that. Right, dear students. So this is my keyboard. This is my keyboard. This is my keyboard. So far what we did, I am just showing you. With the keyboard, we read the data. With the keyboard, we read the data. How we read that? Which function we are using to read the data? Come on, keep everybody answer my questions. With which function we read the data? Very good. Input function we read the data. So the data where it was stored, we read the data. We read the data and stored in where? Very good. Excellent. Main memory. So we read the data by using input function. So reading data from, I am saying reading data, reading input, that is reading data, oblique what? Input from keyboard. By using which function we used it, By using which function we used it? Input function we used it. That data stored in main memory. So here I am writing, dear students, data stored in main memory. Data stored in where? Main memory. So I am writing here main memory. Main memory, dear students, which is known as the component called RAM. Which is known as a component called RAM. Which is your favorite answer? Random access memory. Of course, you stored your data in the variables. All the variables are there in the main memory. So with that data, we used to process it. And that result, again we are storing onto the monitor. We are showing onto the monitor. So the result is stored on the monitor itself. The result is stored in the monitor itself, dear students. So the result of the program stored in the memory, and the result we are showing, the result what we have is stored in where? On the monitor result is displayed. Result displayed in monitor. Okay. Ultimately, what we understood, with which function we displayed it, with which function? Print function. This type of application so far is called non-persistent applications we can call. Which applications we can call? Non-persistent application we can call. This type of programming is called non-persistent application. This portion is called non-persistent applications. This portion of the application is called non-persistent application development. Dear students, non-persistent applications. So tell me, non-persistent applications, results are stored in main memory and they are displayed on the monitor and we used to see. So in non-persistent applications, results are stored in main memory. That main memory results are permanent or temporary? You tell me that. General knowledge. Any data stored in the main memory, is it temporary or permanent? It is a temporary, sir. Very good. Super. Suppose, for example, you take it. Suppose you go for an example. In the organizations, data is very, very important. Data is playing an important role in software industry. Data is an important in business organizations. Storing data in business organizations is very, very important. So data is very, very important for the business organizations. That's why sometimes even people will buy the data from different organizations. Why? Because data storage is supposed to be, data is useful to take the decision making purpose. They will use it. So that's why from now onwards, You take it. Best example, you take it. Whatever I am explaining in the class, first which is entered into your brain. So that is your brain is nothing but acting like a main memory. Suppose if I don't give the notes for some 10, 15 days, will you remember after 15 days what I taught today? Will you remember what I taught today, ma? Definitely. Generally, we forget it. Today we will remember. Up to evening, we will remember. Tomorrow, we will forget slowly. Day after tomorrow, we will completely forget after 15 days. That means our, yes, ma, Kishan, yes. It is called a volatile memory. Temporary memory. Temporary memory. As long as power is on, you can remember the data. Once power is off, OFF, the data will be lost. That's why when you go to any shopping mall, when they do any billing, when they do any type of operation, compulsory, people are very much interested to store the data in the form of permanently. So, data to be stored permanently, that is the programming we are learning today. How to store our data permanently, that is our programming concept in today's class. So, coming to the point of it, once your data stored in main memory, immediately that data will be transferred permanently. I am giving immediately, sir, from main memory. From main memory, you please store the data. You please store the data. You please store the data permanently, sir. Please store the data permanently, sir. You can store the data permanently in two ways, sir. In two ways, sir. One, we can store the data in the form of files, sir. One more, you can store the data in the form of where, sir? Database also we can store, sir. We can store the data in two places, sir. One is in the form of files, sir. One more is in the form of database, sir. So if I store my data, definitely we are reading the data from the keyboard. We are storing the data and processing the data available in main memory. In place of displaying the data onto the monitor, we are diverting that data into the files. Into the files we are going to store it. We are going to store the data in the form of files. We can store the data even in the form of database also. Even in the form of database also. Today we are talking about data in the form of files. So dear students, I am taking this is called files. This is called files, and we can also call it as a database softwares also we can use. Database softwares also we can use it. Database softwares also we can use it. So we can use database softwares also. Dear students, I am going to give a clarity here. I am giving a clarity here. One can store the data permanently. In how many ways, ma? How many ways we can store the data permanently? Come on, two ways. Number one, by using what? Number one, by using what? Files. Number two, by using what? Number two, by using what? Database softwares. Now I am telling dear students, 98% of the organizations prefer to store the data in the form of database softwares. 98% of the organizations will prefer to store the data in the form of files, because files are outdated. Actually, strictly speaking, outdated. But the files concept will come into the software industry. That's why we are talking files in the class. And make my words as granted. That's why we are going to discuss in the classroom Oracle database, how my Python program can communicate with Oracle database. How my Python program can communicate with MySQL database. MySQL database. I'm going to teach this. This is called Python database communication, we can call. Python database communication, we can call. How we can communicate with the database. How we can communicate with the database. One is by using Oracle, you can communicate. One more by using MySQL database also we can communicate. I'm going to tell you separate concept this is. That is called a PDBC. PDBC means Python database communication. It is a separate explanation. This will take 4 days about Oracle database, 4 days about MySQL database. I'm going to explain a lot. So right now, don't worry about it. Dear students, now I'm going to talk about how to store our temporary data in the form of files. In the form of files, in the form of database. Industry required to go for a database only because it is easy to process the data and security will be more in the database. But files does not contain security in the real time because any person can select the file and they will say control delete. Control delete. Then that file will be removed. So come on to the point. I can store the data in the form of files. I can store the data in the form of files. Seema, I can store the data. I can store the data. I can store the data. That means storing means what? I can write the data to the file. At the same time, I can read the data from the files also. I can read the data from the files also. How you are reading the data? Enter your Aadhaar card number. Enter your Aadhaar card number and you are getting the other details. So how it is possible? They stored your Aadhaar card details in the files, in the database, and they are going to read the data from the file. So, dear students, read. That is nothing but what? Retrieve. I can say retrieve. Retrieve the details from the database. Retrieve the details from the database. Retrieving is nothing but what? Read. Read the data from the database. This type of applications in real time is called persistent applications. We can call persistent applications. Spell out all of you once. Spell out all of you. This type of portion of application development is called what? Persistent application development. This is known as what? Persistent application development. Dear students, this is known as what? Persistent application development. For my satisfaction, all of you, persistent application development. What is meant by persistent application? Storing the data permanently. This picture will give you very beautiful part. Tell me, for my satisfaction, how many types of applications, Uma? How many types of applications? 2 types. One is called what? Non-persistent application development. One more is called persistent application development. Whatever the examples we have discussed so far, all of them are called what? All of them are called which example, which applications? Excellent. Non-persistent applications. Non-persistent applications. For my satisfaction, tell me, non-persistent applications, we can read the data from where? In non-persistent applications, we can read the data from where? Read the data from where? Keyboard. This is what I don't want. I want clarity. In non-persistent applications, I can read the data from where? Keyboard. Stored in where? Stored in where? Stored in where? Main memory. And displaying the result in where? Displaying the result in where? Monitor. Main memory data temporary or permanent? Main memory data temporary or permanent? Temporary. As long as power is on, data will be there. Once power is lost, data will be lost. Now, definitely, organizations need what? Organizations need what, ma? Organizations need what? Organizations need to store the data permanently. Organizations need to store the data permanently. That's why we need to learn which concepts allows us to store the data permanently. Persistent applications. In persistent applications, we can store the data permanently in how many approaches? 2 approaches. One is by using what? Files. One is by using what? Files. One more by using what? Database softwares. Which one is the most recommended in software industry? Database softwares are most recommended because we are having some advantages in that. Some 4 to 5 advantages are there. But at this point of time, we are achieving the persistency. We are achieving the persistent application development by using what? At present, we are achieving the persistency by using what? Files. Now I am going for files purpose is what? Tell me. The purpose of files. Come on, now you understood. The purpose of files. The purpose of files is, yes, to store the data permanently. Excellent. The purpose of files is that to store the data, permanently, permanently, to store the data permanently. Excellent. Dear student, now I am going to tell you. Now I am going to tell you. Suppose, Seema, every day I am typing my Python program. Okay? Na? Every day I am typing my Python program. By default, where is my Python program is available? By default, where is my Python program is available? Excellent. Main memory it is available. Main memory it is available. On what name? Untitled. Untitled. That's why we are saving that file name or not? We are saving our code in the file name or not? We are saving. In where we are saving? In secondary memory. In secondary memory. In Python 4pm folder. In the hard disk we are storing. On what name? On what name? Some file name with an extension .py. Now you tell me technically, now I am saying technically to store the data programmatically. Now I am writing programmatically. Seema, you are coming to the simply on the line. Programmatically to store the data. To store the data. To store the data permanently. Permanently. We need what? We need what? We need what name? File name. We need what name? File name. Yes or no? To store the data, we need what? File name. Technically, file name. Technically, file name is one of the named location in the hard disk. Will you accept it? File name is one of the named location in secondary memory. Secondary memory is nothing but hard disk. Hard disk it is HDD. Will you accept it or not? It is a named location in secondary memory. Will you accept it or not, ma? HDD is nothing but hard disk. Hard disk. I am taking it as hard disk. It is nothing but a secondary memory. File name is nothing but it is a location in the secondary. Secondary memory is a collection of sectors, cylinders. That is the entire background story, not necessary. It is one of the named location in the secondary memory. Simple ma. When I buy the new notebook, some 10 notebooks I purchased it. Are you giving the labeling on every notebook or not? What is that labeling? It is easy for you to identify in the future also. So a file name is nothing but a named location in secondary memory. Tell me for my satisfaction, files always resides in where? Tell me, files always resides in where? Excellent, hard disk. Files always resides in secondary memory. Hence, now I am saying, hence, this point is clear, na? You will get much knowledge on it. Hence, files always resides in file names. File name or file names always resides in secondary memory. Secondary memory, that is nothing but on hard disk they are residing. It is enough. It is enough. So with this, what you are understanding, I just want to know. What is the file name? What is the file name? I am not asking what is the file. I am asking what is the file name. What is the file name? What is the file name? It is one of the named location in hard disk. Excellent. Right. Why you are taking file name? Why you are taking file name? For future recognition to open it. Why you are taking file name? For the future identification purpose. To address that file for future identification purpose. Yes. Files resides in where, ma? Files resides in where? Files resides in where? Hard disk. Very good. To store your main memory data in the second hard disk, Compulsory you need to choose what? To store your data in the secondary memory, definitely you need to choose what? File name. Can I store anything in the hard disk without a file name? Can I store anything in the hard disk without a file name? No, sir. Excellent. So I gave the information about the file name. I gave the information about the file name. Let us look into the further. In the context of files, slowly let me enter into the subject. In the context of files, we can write two types of applications. We can write or we can develop. Slowly I am going to enter. We can develop two types of applications. Because to learn perfect programming, some correct concept is required. In the context of files, we can develop two types of applications. Sir, they are A. Number one is non-persistent applications. Non-persistent applications, number one. Second one I am taking persistent applications. Persistent applications. This is the second one. Non-persistent applications and second one is called persistent applications. Dear students, what are the examples of all my previous concepts are comes under what examples, ma? What examples they are all comes under? Come on. What applications they are all comes under? Non-persistent, sir. Please tell me in this application development, tell me, in this application development, what is happening? In this application development, we can read data. We can read data from keyboard. We can read data from keyboard. Store that data in main memory. And the results are stored in. Results are displayed on monitor. The result of in this application, the data stored. Now I am writing here examples. All our previous example. I am writing here all our previous programs. Previous programs comes under what? Non-persistent applications. I am saying non-persistent applications, dear students. Non-persistent applications. Please be careful, ma. So there I am saying next. All our previous examples comes under the result stored in main memory. That is in the bracket RAM is temporary. So temporary. That means as long as power is on, data will be on. Once power is off, data will be gone. So all our examples are comes under non-persistent applications. Now we are talking about the persistent applications. Tell me, in our example, even in the diagram also I gave you, a full-fledged diagram I gave you. This area is called non-persistent. You are already aware of it. Reading the data from the keyboard, sir. Now stored in the main memory, sir. Displayed on the monitor, sir. It is called non-persistent applications, sir. In persistent applications, what is happening, sir? We store the result of our program into the files, sir, or databases, sir, and we can read the data from the file or what? Database and put it into the main memory. Finally, we have to store the data we have to process the data in main memory only, but the data storage will be done into the hard disk. Take a small example, ma. When you go to the bank for depositing your money in your account, compulsory what they need to do? They will switch on the system Operating system is booted and they will say 10 o'clock bank will open and they will give you the form. And they are having one UI, user interface. They will enter your account number. Once they enter the account number, what will happen? They will retrieve your details from your database into the main memory. They will retrieve the data from the database into main memory. And then they will enter the data in the main memory. And they will put the data once again into the database itself. Are you understanding that part, ma? Tell me, reading and writing on the data, reading and writing the data into where? Tell me, reading and writing the data into where in persistent application development? Come on, in where itself? Reading and writing the data in where? Files as well as database only. Files as well as database only. Here, reading and writing in where in non-persistent? Keyboard and monitor, keyboard and main memory. Here, where? Reading and writing in where? In files only. So I am writing here. In non-persistent, in persistent application development, see what I am going to do. So I am writing here. So non-persistent applications, persistent application development. In this, see what I am going to do. In this development, in this application development, I am saying, in this application development, we can read the data. See, ma, we can read the data. We can read the data. We can read the data from where? Files, oblique, database. I'm adding that also. We can read the data from database into where? Main memory, and results are stored. Results are stored. Results are displayed on the monitor, and they can be stored in, and they can be stored once again in files oblique what? Database. Carefully understand, no tension at all. In this application development, we can read the data from files or database into main memory. The results are displayed on the monitor, showing to you, and the results are stored once again, in files or database. Is my definition is clear? Is the definition is clear, ma? All of you? Yes, sir. Simple, ma. Take an example. Already you have 1 lakh rupees in your account, ma. Today you are depositing 1 more lakh. What they will do? They will enter the account number. They will get your 1 lakh rupees information into your main memory. They will add 1 lakh rupees depositing. They will do the manipulation in the main memory. And once again, 2 lakhs will be stored in your database itself. So tomorrow if you go for the 2 lakhs will be retrieved once again. So data will be visiting between main memory and what? File of your secondary memory or database of your secondary memory. Right, ma? So in real time, dear students, in real time, we can achieve the persistency. We can achieve the persistency. Persistency means what? Storing the data permanently. Storing the data permanently. We can achieve the persistency in 2 ways. We can achieve the persistency in 2 ways. Storing the data permanently. In real time, we can achieve the persistency in 2 ways. They are number 1, A, by using files. Second is by using what? By using database softwares. Oracle, I can use it. I can use MySQL. I can use Postgresql. I can use PostgreSQL. I can use MongoDB. I can use SQLite 3. I can use Supersonic database. I can use DB2. I can use SQL Server. See, I can use SQL Server, etc. Because these are all I worked with Java. Even we can work with your Python also. See how many databases are there we can store. Yes, Durga Prasad. We can store the data. Most frequently used thing is Java, Oracle and MySQL. We can use most frequently used one is Oracle and MySQL. If you want, I can teach any database. What is there? With left and left finger, I will make you as a king in this area. King. You only will tell, sir, we can do wonders, sir. Let us wait. Let us wait. See in files only how you will become. In files only you see how you will become. And now I am writing one note, ma. Now I am writing one note. Now I am writing one note. What is the note? What is the note? Industry, I am saying industry is not recommended to use files for data persistency because files of any language is not secured, is not secured. Suppose you are storing the secured data in the file. So somebody will look at the file name and they will say Control Alt Delete. Control Alt Delete means what will happen? The data will be gone or not? Come on, ma, data will be gone or not? Yes, that's why files are not secured. So hence industry always recommends to use database software. Now 1 week before only I am announcing for all of you, coming Sunday, not tomorrow Sunday, coming Sunday, not tomorrow Sunday. All of you carefully listen. Coming Sunday, not tomorrow Sunday, coming Sunday, I am taking special class on Sunday. From now onwards, special classes will be there on Sunday. I am taking for you people and morning people also. Combinedly, I am taking database communication using Python. At morning 7 o'clock only, we are going to take up database communication. I am going to take 2 hours or 2.5 hours. I am going to take it. So combinedly, I am going to take it, and Sunday we are going to take it. Not come to tomorrow Sunday. Coming Sunday I will take it. Not tomorrow. Coming Sunday I will take it. 1 week before only I am intimating to you. So be ready with your Oracle database and MySQL database. Not same timing, morning timing. 7 a.m. I am taking. 7 a.m. I am taking. If any if any work is there, please postpone and be ready for the class. Okay. Let me continue. But as a part of the Python, we can achieve the persistency both by using files as well as with the database. Okay. Now I am entering into the, sir, what is a file? Now I am coming to the definition of file. For my satisfaction, once again I am asking, how many types of applications you can develop using files? How many types of applications we can develop using files? Come on, fast. So somebody else, Teja, switch off your video. Switch off your video, ma. Some girl. So, and she is not able to listen, I think so. So coming to the point back, how many types of applications, ma? 2 types. Number 1 is called which applications? Non-persistent application. One more is called persistent applications. All our previous examples are comes under what? Non-persistent applications. And our which applications we are going to learn now? Persistent applications we are going to learn in this class. Yes. Now, technically file names resides in where? Excellent. Hard disk. Very good. Secondary memory. Anything is okay. A file name can be considered as what? A file name can be considered as what? Named location in hard disk. Please remember this word, excellent word. Named location in the hard disk. Durga Prasad, you are saying wrong answer. Named location in the hard disk. Good. To store anything permanently into the hard disk, compulsory dash is required. File name is compulsory required. File name. We are entering into the file name. Compulsory file name is required. Can I store anything without file name? Can I store anything without file name? I cannot, sir. I cannot, sir. Let me come to the point. Enough. Now tell me. Now I am asking one question. Now I am asking one beautiful question. In Python, all the variables are treated as what? In Python, all the variables are treated as what? Excellent. Object. Object. Perfect, ma? Super students. Tell me, all the objects resides in where? All the objects resides in where? Why you are saying classes, ma? Huh? Main memory. In Python, all variables are called what? Objects. Finished. What object require you need to save? File classes required. I'm not talking about that. All objects resides in where? Main memory. Main memory. Let us take, dear student. Let us take, dear student. I am taking schema. Very easy. How I am going to enter into the file? How I am going to take and how I am going to inject the subject? You see, L1 is equal to 10 comma 10 comma. I am saying that Kishan. I am taking Kishan. Kishan is my student. For example, Kishan and is my OU student. Is my OU student. For example, whose marks are 34.56. For example, assume that 34.56 is my exam. For example, it is my record. It is my record. Kishan is the student OU and his marks are 34.26. For example. Then this object is there in where? This object is there in where, ma? This object L1 is there in where? L1 is there in where? Main memory. This object is there in main memory. Main memory. Main memory data temporary or permanent? Main memory data temporary or permanent? Temporary, sir. Such data I want to store permanently. Such data I want to store permanently. To store permanently, what I need? To store the data permanently, what I need? I need files. Files are database. First, we talk about the files. Files are resides in where, sir? Files are resides in where, sir? Hard disk, sir. Excellent, sir. Now we are understanding. Now you are very perfectly following, ma. Now you are very perfectly following. Now, dear students, with the help of you, this is my hard disk, ma. This is my hard disk. I am saying this is my hard disk. That is called secondary memory. I am writing completely. Secondary memory. I am taking. That is called hard disk. In this secondary memory, I am taking one file name. What is my file name? My file name is called student.data. stud.data. It is up to you. See, extension I gave. You can take info. You take your own extension for your understanding purpose. Student.data. So my habit is to take student.data. It is a file name. In this file name, so many files may be there. I am taking one file name. In that, I am storing my data. What is my data, dear students? 10. Name of the student is called Kishan. Now, student name, college name is called OU and whose marks is called 88.88, for example. 88 point, for example. It is called one record. For example, dear students, please be careful. So, extension is not mandatory, ma. I am giving for you. Extensions always makes us to understand in which language you have written, in which file it is called. That is only extension. Like it is a surname for us. So, dear student, you tell me it is called one record, ma. Terminology I am going to insert. It is called one record, dear student. Next, I am going to take one more student data is coming. 20. One more student is coming. 20 is my another student whose name is called Raja. Yes, Raja. His name is called Raja. So there he is a student of JNTU. He is a student of JNTU whose marks are called 77.77. It is called what? Another record. It is called another record. It is called record number two. Record number two. You know how to store your data. How to store your data? In the list object I will take, in the tuple object I will store, and I can store this record inside of my file. How to store the data inside of my file? I have lot of discussion with you. Like that, I am going to write. Now one more student is there. One more student is there. That is called 30. Who is called RAM? RAM. RAM. And don't think that RAM means not, don't think that main memory is called RAM. One of my student is there. So Malesh is saying that Shahrukh Khan, yes, some name, Ram. He is called my HCU student. He is called my HCU student. He is called my HCU student. He got 66.66. He is called 66.66. So, okay, Ram is called. Okay, so like this is called record 3, record 2. Record 2, this is called. Record 3, okay, record 3. This is called record 3. Previous one is called record 2. Record 2. Dear student, now you can understand. Now you can understand. Like this, I have many number of records are there. Like this, many number of records are there. So last we are having 50 or something like 50, something like 50. Next is called what? Rosum, RS, Rosum, who is called a Netherlands University. Netherlands University. Now his marks are called 99.99. It is called record N. For my satisfaction, you tell me, all the records are stored in where, ma? Don't tell wrong. If you tell wrong, na, you need to tell imposition. You need to write imposition. Record N. Tell me, all the records are stored in where? Everybody. Wrong answer, wrong answer, wrong answer. Wrong answer, wrong answer, wrong answer. Excellent. Manasa is saying that file names are. File names are. File names are. It is a correct. Correct. std.data, sir. So std.data is called what, sir? Here, file name, sir. See, why I am writing this much clearly with colors and all those things? Why I am writing with colors and all? To tell wrong, huh? To tell wrong or what? What, students? Why I am writing with colorful kind of things? I don't have any work, huh? Where are the records are stored? Tell me. Just now I told files are resides in hard disk. In the file, what is there? In the file, what is there? In the file, what is there? Records are there. Data is there. Data is present in the files in the form of records. Tell me, what is the file now? What is a file now? If you don't tell now, you are waste now. If you don't tell now, you are waste. First time I am saying this word to you. File is a collection of what? Records. Finished. Over. File is a collection of records. Finished. Are you getting the theme of it first of all or not? Are you getting the theme of it or not? First you tell me that. Tell me. From where you will read the data from the records data you will read from where? First you get the picture of it. First we will get the picture of it. Where do you get this student number, student name, marks, college name? From where you will read first? Read first. From where you will read first? Keyboard. Yes, Karthik is correct. From first you will read from where? Keyboard. Stored in where? Stored in where? Main memory. From main memory, where are you storing again? From where are you storing again? Files of secondary memory. Files of secondary memory. When you do any changes in the file records, you will read the data from the file into main memory. You do modification, again you will store the data into the file of secondary memory. Once again, clear. Once again, I will ask you once again. So somewhere else you missed it. Come on. First time I will read the data of the student from where? From where? Keyboard. Everybody should say. If you don't catch it, how over? You will be over. Keyboard. Where it is stored now? Okay, over. Keyboard is over. Where it is stored now? Main memory. Main memory. Main memory data is what? Main memory data is what? Temporary. Excellent. Temporary. Where do you store the temporary data? Where do you store the student data of main memory? In file of secondary memory. In file of secondary memory. Okay, you stored it. You stored it. Now I want to read the file data. Reading from where? Reading from where now? Reading from where? Now reading from where? Files. You do the modification in main memory. Again you store it in where? Again you store it in where? Files. Finished. Finished. Am I clear for it? First of all, am I clear or not? Clear or not clear? Yes. General example you take it. General example you take. General example you take. When I am studying, when my sir explained this concept in OU, I got confused. After the class is over, I approached to sir, I got some little confused, sir, please tell me, I said. My sir said, this personal example, it's my personal opinion. I understood that time and later I understand like anything. What he said? Dear student, he said, first I will explain my subject. Where it is entered? First, where it is entered? First, I explain the subject for you. Where it is entered, anybody did not understand, enter brain. Excellent, Mas. Ravanti, good. Brain. Brain is what memory? Brain is which memory? Temporary memory. Okay. And sir will tell immediately nodes. Nodes he is saying that write the nodes. From where to where you are diverting? From where to where you are diverting? From brain into from brain into where? Nodes. From brain into nodes. What is that nodes is called? What is that nodes is called? Nodes is called what? Hard disk, that is. Nodes is called hard disk. It is a file name. Okay. We write the data into the file name. So we get a confidence. Okay, sir is given nodes, happy. After 10 days, there is an interview. After 10 days, there is an interview. From where you will read again? From where you will read, ma? From the nodes. Nodes is called a file name. It is a hard disk. You will read from nodes into where? Nodes into where? Brain. Excellent. Nodes into brain. You will do something into the brain. You will do something into the brain. Again, I want to store the data. Again, I want to store the data. Where do you store again? In the files only. Over. Over. My concept is over. Are you getting confidence? Are you getting confidence? Yes. That only you take, learn C language, C++, Python, Django, anything, artificial intelligence, anything you learn. It is left hand, left finger. Simple, ma. Yes. So, coming to the point of A, right? Yes, ma. Raj Kamal. That only, ma, Raj Kamal. Now I am entering further. For my satisfaction, you tell me, what is the definition of file? Finished. Don't lose this power of remembrance. What is the definition of file? Come on. A file is a collection of, what? Records. A file is a collection of records. Records. Fine. Coming to the point of next, what is a record, sir? What is a record, sir? Definition of record, sir. Definition of record. You don't define it. You don't define it. Don't define. Example I will tell. See the example. There is no hurry, ma. Learn pakka definition beginning only. See, first you see. My student is called 60. My student is called 60. My student name is called Arindam. So, my student name is called Arindam. He is called my JNTU student whose marks are called 88.88. It is called one record. It is called record, ma. called record. Is called record. Now tell me, what is this record? You tell me. Collection of fields values. Collection of fields values is a number. Is a number. Number, student number. Name, Arindam. College name, JNTU. Marks 88.88. So it is called what? Record. So what is a record? Collection of what? Fields values. FIELDS. Fields values. Collection of fields values is called record. Is called record. A file is a collection of record. Is my definition is clear or not? Is my definition is clear or not? Please confirm. Please confirm. Yes. So your data you take it. Your data you tell me. Your data you tell me. Your data is called what? Your number. Number 70. Number 70. I am taking here. One more thing I will take it. 70. 70 is called what? Mallesh. Then next is called what? He is my HU student. Whose marks are called what? 88.89. He is called record. Is called record. Is called record. Is called what, ma? Record. It is called record. Yes. 80 Durga Prasad is called from something like Madras University. Is called 77.77. Is called record. So is it clear or not clear? Collection of, we understood. Definition of file and a definition of record we understood. Shall I move forward? Shall I move forward? Yes. Excellent. Excellent. Dear students. Let me move forward, ma. Let me move forward. Now I am going to move forward. So we understand definition of file. What is a record? Everything we got it. Now it is the time to see, to move forward. What is that next we need to move forward? Sir, what are the operations we can perform on files? What are the operations we can perform on files? That is also very, very easy. That is also very, very easy. Let us take once again. Subheading is called what? Operations on file. This is called introduction to files. I hope that this introduction is clear. Now I am going for operations on files. Let me save my data because I need to put it into the Google Drive class also. Introduction to the files. I will save it into your location. I will go to your location and 4 p.m. and I will create one folder that is called files. I will create the files and files under that notes folder. Under that I will save. It is called introduction to files. Yes. Next I am going for operations on files. Index also I will save it, no problem. Operations on files. So next is called operations on files. What is this? Operations on files. I will save that index also. Index also I will save it. Index also I will save it. Index also I will save it. Index of files. Index of files. Diagram also I will save, ma. Diagram also I will save. Don't worry. So coming to the point back, I will go for index of files. Index of files. Yes. Now I will save the diagram also. Okay. Now you are making me to remember everything because you are expecting me to put it into the 4 p.m. files. Now I will give you persistent, non-persistent, and persistent applications. Persistent applications. Right. Fine. So I will take this diagram also. What is this diagram? I will take this diagram file. So pick of file. That is nothing but file diagram. File diagram this is. Yeah. Everything is saved. Everything is saved. Now it is the time to seek to come across operations on files. Let me save this part also. Let me save it and I type it. I will go for operations on files. Tell me, come on, quickly try to take this concept now. Come on, quickly. Right. So, Rajshekhar, what is that, ma? Collection of data is also called a record. Collection of data, that is an English, grammatically wrong, ma, Rajshekhar. So, we need to say collection of fields values. Fields values is called a record because it is an international definition. Because you will also understand in my explanation, fields are nothing but column names actually. We are going to see that. I will explain that, don't worry. Okay, let me move forward. Yes. So, dear students, let us come on, ma. Try to understand this part also. Try to bag it. Try to bag it into your bag. Take all of you. First one, I explained the data. See our diagram once again. Our diagram was see our data. Our data you see 4 p.m. Our data files you take it as our files, persistent and non-persistent application. Just I will try to open it. See, ma, all of you. So the data, the record is present in where? In main memory. That record I am going to store it in where? Store it in where? Come on, response I want. Store it in where? File of secondary. Don't tell file mod. Once again, I am telling to you. Don't try to only hard disk. That is a wrong answer. Don't tell database because I am not dealing with the database. I am storing it in where? File of secondary memory, you need to say. Remember my word. File of secondary memory. That is a one you need to say. Or file of hard disk you need to say. That is the terminology you need to say. Only on secondary memory you cannot store without file name. I already told you now why you are mistaking by yourself. See, once again I will show you where I taught that because our notes is wonderful. To store the data permanently, we need a file name. Technically, file name is one of the named location in main memory. Hence, files resides in secondary memory. See, my notes is so wonderful. If you read the notes, you will get 101% anything. Anything can be understandable like anything. Come on. Come on. Where is our object data resides? Where is our object data resides? By default. By default. Main memory. What are you doing? That data I want to store it in where? That data I want to store it in where? That data I want to store it in where? File of secondary memory. You need to say file of secondary memory. Storing means which operation? Storing means which operation? Storing means which operation? Correct one I want. Storing means write operation. Excellent. Prabhat. Writing operation. Simple. One more personal example you take. I explained the data which is there in your brain. Earlier, what we used to do before this Google Drive class, I said write the notes. I said, what are you doing? You will open your notebook and you will take your pen and you will start writing it. What is that operation called? Write operation. That means write operation purpose is transferring the temporary data from main memory into file of secondary memory. Am I right or not? Am I right, ma? Am I right or not? Am I right or not? All of you confirm once. Yes. Tell me all of you. Yes, sir. So, what is the first operation you are doing on the file? Write operation. Okay, sir. We understand that operations on file. On files, we can perform two operations. One is writing the temporary data from the main memory into the file of secondary memory is number one. Okay, we return the data, sir. After 10 days, there is an interview, sir. After 10 days, there is an interview for me, sir. We want to read the data. We want to read the data from the file of secondary memory into main memory. Which operation you are doing? Retrieving. Retrieving is nothing but which one? Read, sir. Read. So how many operations you will perform on the files, ma? Two operations we can perform. See guys, on files we can perform two types of operations. Two types of operations. On files we can perform two types of operations. They are number one. What is that number one? What is number one, ma? Write operation. Write operation. Second is called what? Read operation. Second is called what? Read operation. Excellent. Write operation, read operation. Two types of operations we can do it on the file. Right. Now, I am telling about first operation. I want to talk about it. Write operation. See what we are going to do in that? Write operation. I am showing all these things practically for you. Write operation. In this write operation, you need to tell, sir, what is the purpose first and what are the steps for it. What are the steps for it? Similarly, we are learning about B point we are writing. Read operation. We are learning about read operation. Read operation, number one. In that we are reading about what type of purpose. First we need to understand the purpose. Next we need to understand about what type of steps we are going to get it. Next we are going to tell about what type of exceptions we are going to get it in the read operation. Come on, start. First one, write operation. What is the purpose? Don't get confused, because there is a chance to get confused. Coolly you think, my sir said write operation, files. What you will do? Tell me, what is the purpose of write operation? When write operation comes, what will happen? First you tell me. Come on, ma. To store the data from main memory into the file of secondary memory. Kishan, excellent, ma. Transferring temporary data into the file of secondary memory. Everybody must type this word. I don't want incomplete sentences. Write operation is used for, see, write operation is used for transferring temporary data from where? Used for transferring temporary data from where? From main memory into where? File of what? Secondary memory. File of secondary memory. I am writing here file of secondary memory. Write operation is used for transferring temporary data from main memory into the file of secondary memory. Okay, sir. To perform. Next line I am writing. To perform. What operation? Write operation. To perform write operation, we use three steps. Come on. Now you take my example, our classroom example only you take. Sir said write the notes. Writing the notes is nothing but what, sir? Sir is transferring our brain data in my notes. First what he will do? Sir said write the notes. First what he will do? From my bag I will take the notes. Notes is nothing but what? Choose the file name. See how easy it is. Choose the file name. Are you following me? Are you following the first step? Choose the file name. Everybody. Yes. Please confirm. Because every point I want confirmation. It's like an offline class only. Yeah. Choosing the file name. Why file name choosing? Because I need to write the data. Na? To write the data, what is required? File name is compulsory. Na? How to choose the file name? I will open it. Second one. Okay. I am choosing the file name. Next, the second is what? Now you tell me. I told you first step. Na? Second step, you tell me. Come on. Jyotirmayi, very good, ma. Open the file name. Open the file name in write mode. Write mode. How to open the file name in write mode, sir? I will tell you, sir. Open the file name in write mode. Excellent explanation I will give you. Excellent explanation I will give you. How many file modes are there? Durga Prasad, not that one, amma. Write mode. This is technical part. This is a technical part. How many file opening modes are there? 7 modes are there. 7. Totally 7 modes are there. R, W, A, R plus, W plus, A plus, A plus, X. File opening mode is a separate topic it is. File opening mode is a separate topic. I will explain. How to open the file in C language, how to open the file in C++, how to open the file in Java, how to open the file in Python. See how clarity it is there. You take any language, you learn any language, follow my international steps. Follow my steps. You take any language, you will get like anything. Learning language is a left hand left finger because it is only the matter of what? Syntaxes. Concept must be perfect. It is a crystal clear, echo green it should be, pollution less. After 20 years also, you need to go for what? Learning like anything, any language. Keep my notes preserved. Yes. Okay. Opened in write mode. You opened your notes. Pen is ready. Notes is ready. I took my notes. I opened my notes into write mode. My book is ready. My pen is ready. Next, what you will do? What you will do? Write the data. How to write the data? Write first data, second data, third data, fourth data, fifth data, sixth data. I will go on writing the data until my sir says that stop. How it is? Technically, perform. See how I will write it, man? Perform. Cycle of write operations. Perform cycle of write operations. So, sir said that, take the diagram. I want to write the record. Write the roll number, write the name, write the marks, write the college name. I will perform cycle of write operations. Perform cycle of write operations. Perform cycle of write operations. Are you following, ma? Are you following this concept? Are you following or not? Yes, sir. We followed, sir. Now, dear student, while we perform write operations on files, we are getting some exception. At this time, you don't understand this word, but I will write this. At this point of time, I will compulsory write. While we are performing, you don't worry about it. In the programmatical, I will show you. While we are performing, what operation? Write operation. While we are performing write operation on files, we get an exception. We get an exception. Already we get an exception called EOF error. EOF error. No, EOF error and file exist error. Listen my words, file exist error. You don't worry about it. I will tell you that. EOF error and file exist error. These are all exceptions you already developed. Full forms, no. End of file error, file exist error, no full forms. You already developed. Comes under what type of exceptions? Predefined. Excellent. Predefined exceptions. Do you know how to handle exceptions in my Python class? Do you know how to handle the exceptions in Python class? Yes, sir, we know. Which blocks you will use, ma? Which blocks? Try, except, else, finally, raise. These are the keywords already we learned or not? Oh, yes, sir. Perfect, sir. Now, what are the exceptions in write operations you will get it? Don't worry about the name of the exception. I will show you practically. That time you just worry about it. That time you worry about it. Other than that, you don't worry. Other than that, you don't worry. Okay. Are you perfect in right operation? Are you perfect in right operation or not? Perfect or not, ma? Yes, sir. Now go for read operation, sir. I will not say anything. You only tell me what is the read operation. I will not say anything. You only tell me. What is the purpose of read operation? Read operation. I am not telling anything. If you say, I will write it. Read operation is used for. Read operation is used for. Now I am waiting for you people to write it. Read operation is used for retrieving the data. Retrieving. 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 Or what? Reading the data. Reading the data. From where? File of. File of secondary memory. File of secondary memory into main memory. Main memory into the object of main memory. Into the object of main memory. That's perfect. Because anything I read into main memory, I should stay taking the form of variable. Variable into the variable. Variable. Every variable in Python is called what? Object only. Object of main memory. Excellent. On the display on the monitor, that is a different story. Is the read operation purpose is clear? Clear? Yes. Sir, now come on, sir. To perform, next, sir. To perform, tell me, to perform what? Read operation. To perform read operation, we use 3 steps, sir. We use 3 steps, sir. They are. Tell me, sir, now. Tell me, sir, now. Yeah. Yes, I am not saying anything. You only need to tell. I want to read my Python notes. Tell me what you will do. Excellent. Choose the file name. How easy it is. Choose the file name. Choose the file name. Okay, sir. Understood. Next. How to choose the file name? I will show you the example. Second, please. Second one, please. Open the file name. Open the file name. In. Open the file name in. Everybody saying the open the file name. I don't want in which mode? Read mode. How to open the file name in read mode? We have the file opening modes are there. We are going to tell you what is the syntax for opening the file name in read mode. What is the syntax for opening the file name in write mode? I am going to give you perfectly. I am going to give you perfectly. Right now, don't worry. Open the file name in read mode. Yes. Next, please. Excellent. Perform cycle of read operation. Excellent, ma. Perform cycle of what operation? Read operations. Perform cycle of read operations. So perfect, dear students. While we are performing, let me complete this part also. While we are performing, which operation? Read operations. While we are performing read operation, we get a predefined exception. We get a predefined exception. How beautiful it is. Okay, choose schema. I am choosing the file name. Okay. You are trying to open that file name in read mode. Unfortunately, that file name is not there now. Yes or no? You are choosing your notes. That notes you gave to your friend 2 months back. 2 months back, you gave your friend to already your friend, and you are looking for that file, that notes into your bookshelf of your home. Is it there or not there? There or not there? Not there. What is that exception? Notes not found exception. Notes not found exception. Not there. It is called notes not found exception. While we are performing the read operation, we get a predefined exception called what is that? File not found. File not found error. See, file not found error. Are you getting ma? File not found error. File not found error. You will get exception. You know how to handle the exception. You know how to get the exception. File not found error. File exists error. So how many exceptions are there in file? That is finished. How many exceptions are there in files? How many exceptions are there in files? 3. One is called what? EOF error. One more is called what? File exist error. One more is called what? File not found error. Like that, when we enter into other topics, other exceptions are coming. When I go for artificial intelligence and data science, we'll get some other kind of exception. If any exception is coming, will you fear? Will you fear? No, I never fear. I will handle. I have the big concept. My sir made me as a king. Try, accept, else, yeah, all these things I can catch. Any exception. I can process any exception. I will play with it. I will play with it. I will do football with it. Come on to the point. How many types of exceptions we have? EOF error, file exist error, file not found error. These are called exceptions in our Python. Now I am going to talk about operations on files also. I will save it. Yes, saved. Am I clear about operations on file? How many operations on files, dear students? How many operations on files now? Two things, sir. Number one. What is number one? What is number one? Write operation. Number two is what? Read operation. How many steps in write operations, sir? How many steps in write operations, sir? 3 steps, sir. Just Kiran, who is that? 4 steps you are saying. 3 steps, sir. What is the first step, sir? What is the first step, sir? I forget, sir. Choose the file name. Type it in single word. Don't write different lines. Choose the file name, comma. Open the file name in write mode. How to open the file name in write mode? I will take it. See, next is called what? Perform cycle of write operations. Which exceptions are coming in write operations, sir? Which exceptions are coming in write operations, sir? EOF error, file exist error. EOF error, file exist error. See how I wrote EOF error. See how I wrote file exist error. Very, very easy. Very, very easy. Read operation. From where to where? Read operation. What is the purpose of read operation? I will tell you, Satish. Don't worry. EOF error, don't worry. I will tell you. Okay? Don't worry. Come on. Come on, ma. What is read operation is doing? Retrieving or reading the data from file of secondary memory into the object of main memory. How many steps are there? How many steps are there? 3 steps. What are the 3 steps? I forget. Please tell me. I forget. What are the 3 steps? Number 1, choose the file name. Second is what? Choose the file name. Next, open the file name in read mode. Third step is what? Perform cycle of write operation. Perform the cycle of write operation. Yes. Fine. Come on to the point. How many exceptions are there in Python, sir? How many exceptions are there in read operation? How many exceptions are there in read operation? 1. Sumit. Read operation, amma. How many exceptions in read operation? 1 only. File not found error. How many total exceptions are there in file operations? 3 are there. Clarity I am giving now. Why you are getting confusion? This is about operations on files. Next class when I come back, I will explain types of files. Tomorrow class is not there, ma. Tomorrow class is not there because tomorrow I will take complete rest. Because complete rest I will take tomorrow, so that next Sunday I will become so much active. So next types of files I will explain in the Monday class. Okay, na? Keep in mind. So, right, ma. So, yeah. From Monday, we will go for types of files. Okay. Is the files concept is clear? Yes, ma. Mallesh, thank you. Is the files concept is clear for all of you up to so far what I discussed? Yes, sir. Excellent. Very perfect, ma. Super response from everybody. Right. Super. Yeah, this month ending, one new batch will start for Python, ma. One new batch will start, one Python batch is starting. Inform to all your friends. This month ending, one new Python batch is starting. Please inform all your friends. Make my batch as grand success. Yes. So it is going to, yes. Timing, I will tell you. Timing. Morning batch it is going to complete. Morning batch it is going to complete. That time it is going to be. Morning time it will be. Right. Month ending. Month. I will intimate the date and all those things to you. Okay. Please intimate to all your friends in advance. Right. Thank you. Thank you. Good day for all of you. These notes I